Hello guys, welcome back to the Python Django tutorial. So in this video tutorial we are going to learn about APIs. So in Django we have concept called APIs. So we'll learn like what you mean by API and how to use API and how to register API and how to set up API. So these basic concept we will learn in this video tutorial. Like first of all we have to understand what you mean by the API, so and why we are using API and what is the advantages of using API. So before learning anything, this concept we have to understand the prerequisite. So here, to use APIs in system, first we have to install the APIs. So then only we are able to make use of the APIs. Now, first of all, understand what is API in Django. Like API in the sense application programming interface. So it has the subroutines, like which it already has a set of subroutines. So these subroutines already defined protocols, means the functionality is already defined in that rules or protocols. So for using those tools, we have to just call in them in our software, to build any applications, like complex applications. So making use of APIs is bit easier task for us, because it already built some of the functionality in that, so we are just calling those APIs. By using APIs, it will help us to like connecting the various software components. So it is API in a sense, like it's like an interface between the two software components. So let us say if I want to connect from web to web, or system 1 to system 2. So by using the API interface, I can easily call the or connect two systems. So this is, it means it will be acting as an interface between the two systems. Means it has the already, so to communicate or to interface between two, it has the already set of subroutines, or we can call it as a protocols means it is a set of rules which is already defined. So these will be helping us to communicate each other, or developing applications. These APIs are going to help, and it makes our life to easier to develop the any applications. And so in nowadays, to develop the any web application or any desktop application, anything applications, so most of the cases we are using the making use of APIs. So in the Django, coming to the we have now we have understood like what is API and why we are using it. So now we have now next concept, we have to understand what are the APIs present in the Django. So the answer is, in Django we have the REST framework. So REST framework is available. So REST framework, it describes which its full form is like a representational state transfer. So REST means representational state transfer. So it is used for like a architecture data communication. Means, so if I want to communicate between communicating purpose, I am using this architecture. Okay. So it is a like it has a built-in functionality to communicate one architecture or one web-based application to another web-based applications. So I am using the REST framework. And like even the REST framework also uses the HTTP calls. It uses the HTTP calls to make the between communicate machine between the machines, like a machine to one machine to another machines. This uses the HTTP calls, or protocols, we can say protocols. Next, now we have understand the what is the REST framework and all. Now we have the some of the methods in the REST framework. See, like if you are using any framework, so for those framework we have the methods, like get method, put method, post method, and delete method. These are the methods. Like get means it will whatever we are fetching or we are sending value, those will be posted in the URL, that is get method. So when we are posting using the post method, so if I use method is equal to post, means it will not send any value to the URL. So this is the post method. like if I want to add any value, so that time I am using the put method. So like similarly delete method is used to delete the values. So these are the methods available in the APIs, or you can call as a REST APIs. So whichever like you are requesting and responding, so in there we have these methods available. Now we have understand REST API, then REST framework and methods. Now next we will understand what is REST API. So like when web services uses the REST architecture, that is representational state transfer architecture, so they are called they are called RESTful APIs or REST APIs. So whenever we are using the REST architecture, it means internally that calling the APIs only. So a REST API has the like a set of web addresses. So that represents like whenever we call, so that responds with pure information. Means like if I'm searching like any information, so what API will do is, so it already, as I explained earlier, APIs has the set of protocols or rules. So if you are calling something like, let's say if you are calling x functions, if I am calling the functions, so what are the built-in functionalities available in that function, so those options means functions will be performed. So this is the main usage of APIs. So already the functions is defined in that API, just we have to make use of APIs. So it means it will give the proper informations because the function is already defined in earlier. And in API, so like if you consider any APIs, it will be the result, it will be in the form of common JSON format. So this is the like key value pair. So similarly, how we have in dictionary keys and value, same as, so the format of the whatever the API returns back to the user, so or browser, that is in the form of JSON format. And next I'll going to explain you how to install REST framework in Django, and how to register, and how to how to make use of REST framework in the settings.py file, and all I will explain you in the in this tutorial. Now we will learn about the installation process, like how to install the REST framework and all. So uh, in Python Django, we can install the REST framework like by using the Python manager. As you know already, like pip is the Python manager. So by using the pip manager, we can install the Python. So first we have to install, as I already explained earlier only, first we have to install the Python. After then we have to install the pip. Then after using pip, we have to install the like REST framework. So now I will give the command like how to install the uh, REST framework. So I will make notes in. So I'm in API. I'm explaining the concept API, right? Application programming. So API stands for application programming interface. We have the in Django. We have the REST framework. REST REST framework in the sense representational state transfer. So this is the full form of REST framework. Okay. Now, after the REST framework, we have some of the methods available in the framework. Like we have the get method, we have the put method, we have the post method, and we have the delete method. These are the methods available in framework. Next, we have learned about how to installation process. Like so, whatever the in APIs, the return means the whatever output is giving back to the user or a browser. So that will be in the form of JSON. APIs API's output is in the form of JSON only. JSON means JSON means key and value pair. So the value means it will be separated with keys and values. Next, I will explain installation process. So installation process, like how to install, I will explain you. First, you have to install the Python. First step, install the Python. Second, install pip. And third step, install test framework. So now I will give command to install the REST framework. So command is pip install REST Django REST framework. Django REST framework. So this is the command to install the Django REST framework. Okay. So once you have installed the Django REST framework, next step is to you have to add the REST framework in installed app, that is in settings.py. So you can observe here in this settings.py file we have to mention the REST API in the installed app. So that is in this. So I will show you. So this is the my installed app. So in this you have to mention the your REST framework API, that is like I will mention here. So REST underscore frame. See, like this you have to mention in the installed app. We have to, after the creating and installing the REST framework, to access REST framework in application, you have to mention in the REST framework in settings.py file. Okay. So after that, like you have to, you can create the model and we can perform with all the operations. So this is simple about like how to install and how to set up the REST framework in Django. So I hope you understand. Thank you for watching this video.